Gun round, try and shut down their economy. That's where things really get rocking and rolling.
Well, rock and roll about to be loud and proud in the Oracle Arena, because we're about to get underway. The pistol round SK, they will start out on the CT side. NiP on the attack first.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it! IEM Oakland, SK Gaming versus NiP, the defending champions, up against the challengers, the world's #1 team, SK Gaming. Let's make some noise!
The buy, pretty straightforward. Exist goes to a smoke, 4 armor for everybody else. On the CT side, a bit more utility, and Fallen has a kit as well as the smoke. Decoys, call them what you will. Forest already peeking out toward long as well by getting out toward the corner. They have the bomb toward the fountain. They'll clear systematically some map control toward the bathrooms, which give them the approach toward the A site, but it's early in the round, a minute 22. And Fur, the only one directly inside of the A site, has to make contact. If they find him in the open as he is, they'll take the site for a plant, and it will come to a retake. Again, 1 kit, but a good find from Fur, getting forward, unfortunately immediately traded. That gives NiP the approach, and the smoke is perfectly timed toward the stairwell for rotations.
Well, the bomb will go down into CT's boosting up here, trying to deny everything they can. coldzera strikes, can't find the headshot straight away. Have to fall back at this point, or maybe not. What was that? As he takes down Forest, it's Get Right to defend from the bathroom, and the bomb has been planted.
Good find from Get Right to hold in the bathroom. So as you say, Taco, you talked about his performance not yesterday, but on Thursday. It was certainly impressive. Rez gets cooled down. That's going to take back part of the approach of the rotation, but Fallen still stands. No armor, so the Glock is a factor for body shots, but he's got the kit and he stays alive, Taco. Rez, he's got to pick up a gun. He's dropped his away. He's got to get to one that's got ammo left over. He's got the Glock 9 bullet, 6 HP. And Fallen's done another retake. Lots of time for the defuse.
SK Gaming coming out on top there. Bit of a brawl to kick things off. Sets the tone very nicely indeed. The boost from coldzera, I didn't think he would yield any sort of result, but he nails the headshot and causes pandemonium on the A bomb side there. The retake was successful, and here you can see that headshot coming through. That was absolutely lovely. The flick as he managed to open things up. Goodbye, Forest. Well, NiP do get the bomb down there, so they will be able to force buy in the 3rd round. PD50s, maybe a couple of smokes and flashbangs to kick us off from round #2 here, but they'll be waiting for round #3. We do know SK Gaming focus on the SMGs in these 2nd rounds, but they know with the bomb going down, they may have to bring some firepower out and prepare for round #3 here. Looks like we have a little pause here, Matt, so this will be technical, I would assume.
We got the unpause called almost right away, so we should be fine. Like there was technical, you're right though, they do know exactly that the AKs will be brought out early on the NiP side, more so if they can strengthen that early buy with another bomb plant in this particular round. But interestingly, it's only 2 rifles. They still go to 2 MP9s as well. I would have thought UMP at the very least would have been considered due to the armor penetration.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's interesting, and NiP will have an opening to the next round to get the first point on the board for themselves. As Fur, of course, pushing towards top of middle. He wants to get those frags in his favor, and for now, he'll be challenging towards top of middle. Does a little bit of damage, and he'll fall back towards the connector.
Shot from Fur. MP9 certainly works fine in this round. Back and tagged as well, down to 23. Fur was clipped by a deagle. And with 3 players toward A this time for SK, less likely they'll be able to walk directly into the site and get that secondary bomb plant we talked about. Even if they sell a fake, it's not like they're going to over-rotate with weapons in their hands. No sense to panic. Bolt's funds exist, he'll spray down, same position, Get Right. Gets 1 in return, so at least some reinvestment brought out, but again, it's one of the SMGs, and that's fine. Actually, in fact, Fur getting 1 kill in the SMG, the MP9, and going down is fine. He gets the $600 back, he'll be able to buy into a rifle or at least a UMP in the next round as Bolts rotates around. He's able to find the kill immediately.
2-0 for SK Gaming. That was quite the clean sweep. They gave 1 kill away, but like we said, this is the round that really counts. NiP with the AK-47s out. They've got the smokes, the flashbangs. They've got a Molotov to work with here as well. We'll have a look at the final purchase from SK. They bring out 2 M4s. They lost 1 of the previous MP9, so coldzera will hold on to that weapon. Fur brings out the M4A4, and we'll see if NiP can get anything done here. They head towards middle, looking to challenge the aggression that SK been presenting so far. Of course, it's Fur. This is his stomping ground towards the top of middle, trying to find these opening kills. Has the smoke to work with there, and they're hunting him down. They're saying a little pack of 3 here to try and trade, even when required. It's fall over the UMP. Quite some range there along A.
Fur can time this so well. He hears Forest. Oh, what a shot, though, from Forest. Because if he hadn't found Forest, he would have swung out to long. We've been talking about it all tournament long. Yeah. Fur has been so good at getting behind teams.
He absolutely is. No one seems to be able to shut him down, but that will do. Forrest with the swift AK headshot opens things up. 5 on 4. They make their way towards long. They will be committing to this bomb site. Exists leading the charge. Bomb on his back. They've still got smokes to deploy at this point. But it looks like a contact play. They just want to have the surprise factor. Potentially backstab players like Bolts who are waiting by the bathrooms.
Get right. Completely gray screened as he wants to walk in. Fallen therefore finds the shot on Rez. As they stay toward the door, Bolts will step up as well, and realizing they've lost long, he'll turn around. His contribution is felt, but it's on to Forrest, who started this off with an excellent kill on Fur. He's now found his second, but he's down to 12 HP. And from range on an MP9, make me eat my words, he'll get the bonus Cold Zero because they've broken down an IP early.
Well, they got the opening pick, but they couldn't convert it to a victory there. They went for this simple approach, this what we call a contact play. You're not deploying all the utility, you get as close to the bomb site as you physically can, and when the CT detects you, that's when you unload absolutely everything. They managed to get trades there, but the retake successful, and that doesn't bode well for NiP whatsoever. That was a round of UMP, an MP9, a couple of M4s, and a FAMAS as well. And it looks like SK Gaming are very comfortable at this point. NiP with no bomb plant means a full eco coming in here. I'd assume they'll get P250s, maybe a couple of Deagles, but so far so good. And we'll take another quick pause here. Looks like we have a tactical pause coming through for the NiP side.
I guess, again, for timeouts, we talk about this all the time in the theory behind it, but I guess having lost the early buy, you have to think the long-term economic standpoint, and bombs are going to be very important in building that back up so early in the game. They know as well, Overpass, SK's map choice, yet definitely they are playing on the back foot just by virtue of who SK is on this map.
Oh, absolutely. Well, 3-0 comes through. It is a bit of a partial buy here. We get the CZs out, a Deagle, but no armor, no nades, so we'll see whether they can get anything done here. We'll get into the next round as we'll head in towards the Connexo area. It's going to be a little trade there as well. Fallen opens things up, but Fur, once again, aggressive, of course, towards middle. He'll get the second and third frag. He's looking strong today. Middle seems to be the area he has complete control of, and he'll be closing the round out presumably any second now. Draken will take him down eventually. 3 versus 1 now. He's not going to win the round, but any damage he can cause the financial situation of SK is going to be beneficial to NiP.
Gets the kill. So Draken with just the one. So they want to try and obviously build his bank up in specific. T-sided op is still extremely viable on Overpass.
Absolutely. He'll be coming out this round, I would assume. Fall on the AWP as well, of course, and his Fur. This is where he normally gets most of his frags, at that fountain position, pushing through smokes, and these shots towards connector, that was quite nice. It definitely is a bit of a sign of things to come, perhaps, as we get into round number 5 here. The AWP is out for Draken. We do have AKs around him as well, and Fallen will be boosted towards the B side, looking at the short pipe, waiting for that flashbang. That's why he's looking at the floor right now with Fur. How does he do this every single round? He's hungry for blood here.
And this is the thing, with Fur playing so well on the A site this far forward, Fallen can't afford to be dynamic. He doesn't have to babysit the inside of the A site. Again, sort of where we see him, his staple on this map. He's able to rotate off. The boost, dynamic. His Fur, he's going to get aggressive as well. Oh, Rez, good read, good find. AK gets the kill immediately with the headshot. That'll certainly force off a rotation from B. And it is, I believe it is Fallen heading back.
They've shut him down for the second time now. They've had this advantage before in the first gun round. Couldn't convert it. Fallen is short.
Yeah. Fallen's on short with the op, so he's actually done the opposite. They're going to rotate all the rifles back over to A rather than the op to play the long angles in the site. That puts Cold, Taco, and Bolts very far forward, and all Fallen has to consider is Monster. He's re-smoked that. He can watch the inside of construction while they search for information and a refrag on the SK side.
50 seconds remaining. It's Fallen to get one back. Taco chiming in as well. Advantage goes towards SK. They'll fall back. You can see them retreating towards the bomb site. Comes down to Draken now. Long A with the AWP. We need him to step up today. Looking for the opening pick, but time is ticking away. They don't really have much utility. 2 smokes remaining as they make their final approach towards the A bomb site.
Rez. The dumpster can't find Taco. Goes down immediately. Get Right knows the situation. He needs to get at least 1 kill to allow the entry to long. Taco's on the other side of the wall, but they can't find it, and unfortunately, it's just Get Right remaining. What a great example of a team knowing. Good shot from Bolts. The exact situation. They lose the early pick and they rotate everyone back rather than cowering away. And I thought they would take Fallen back to the site. They send all 3 out. They play for the trades. They get aggressive and they take assertion and end the round essentially.
It's great work by Fallen. The fact he dropped the smoke and Monster is focused primarily towards short. Instead of playing back in the site and allowing them to execute there, he's finding the shots. He's funneling them towards A. And that's where the rifles are waiting for them. And it's 5-0 SK Gaming. They're not missing a beat right now. We are technically have a force by FMNIP. Sure, we have the rifles and the armor. We have 1 smoke. Make it 2 with 1 flashbang to work with here. Fur, top of middle once again. How many times will he try and get away with this one? He's been shut down twice now. And we'll see whether he can cause any damage here. as NiP make their way towards the connector. We have got Draken in the playground, and he could find Fur any second now. This is very touch and go for both players. Draken knows the potential of Fur pushing towards middle.
Good shot again from Fallen to start it off. Lost round bonus certainly at its maximum.
Fur's in T-steps, just to note.
Yeah, that's. I don't know how he does it. This whole event. Like, I used to think Snacks was the master of getting, easy kill. By again, right? Had no idea. Fur, like, someone needs to look at his demos. If there's a heat map for Fur, I bet all of his CT kills are on the T side of the map.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely
ridiculous.
Behind enemy lines as ever. Get right with the knife out. Draken was actually watching it. He was in playground. He let them go past. And now Fur in the connector, still being a nuisance. He'll do damage. Exist finally takes him down, but it might be too late. It's now a 4-on-2. It's up to Exist and Draken now to make their way back towards the A side, it seems. Draken, no orb. He'll be at long A and Fallen in the bathrooms. Exist's got his work cut out for him here.
Angle held. Exist hesitant. Checking all of the angles. Early shot from Fallen, in fact. It wasn't even going to be a shoulder peek. Draken's added to that with the AK kill on a bolts at long. That allows the entrance and the bomb plant at the very least. The rotation in a 2 versus 2 favors SK on HP, but not in positioning because they're split up entirely, and Draken's going to get aggressive to try and catch Cold off. Good position. The AK can't find the shot. 15 for Cold. He can now afford to look for information, as Exist will not burrow into the typical post-plant position. He'll wait to see where Taco presents himself.
The in-game leader of NiP, the lowest performer for them in this tournament so far, in a 2 versus 1 up against Cold Zero and Taco. The bomb is down, he's towards long, he has no utility to work with it. He has to fight and see if he can make it a 1 versus 1 before anything begins here. He'll successfully do that, and he gets both kills! The spray control comes through, and Exist has done it! He pulls it off against all the odds. Nothing to work with there. And how does he pull that one out the bag?
Wow. With 46 HP, the problem exists, no pun intended, that they only keep one player alive on the reset, but what a round to win. This isn't even close to a lineup, my goodness.
That's beautiful. That's what they needed, a clutch going in favor of the Ninjas. And we'll have round number 7. It was a 4-on-2 situation, and one that could bring NiP to life now. 5-1. Money's still going to be difficult, but they'll take a pause just to calm down, it seems. As we get into this, we still have money, of course, for the SK side. The Orb's still out. Fallen missing that key shot in the bathrooms. As the opening exists required, 2 versus 1. Shouldn't have won that. The first kill that came in towards the bomb, you would assume the refrag comes in straight away. That spray control, that was ungodly.
It was incredible because I think he just had faith on the first player. He was already transferring to the second player as the last bullet was still flying toward his target. So the response is going to have to be desperate, aggressive, and convincing from NiP, and the fact that they are down to the 2 AK-47s, a CZ-75 Khalil and UMP, Exist being the only one to survive. Down toward B. Again, SK wants to step forward. Fallen with the op is getting so aggressive. We don't typically see him on this portion of the map with the AWP in hand, but this event, again, with Fur being so good on A, he can't afford to do so, and he finds Forrest already. They have the smoke so he can fall back. Even though Squeaky Door isn't covered, no one will be able to get the shot.
These are the kind of players we're talking about in the pre-game. Fallen, getting aggressive, changing his position every single round, and being a nuisance. You can see how difficult this buy was for NiP, even though they won the previous round. Draken's down to a CZ, which is now a Khalil. Get right on the UMP, and it's the man advantage given towards SK Gaming. Fallen pushing offshore, takes down Forrest, and he'll manage to retreat safely back to the B side here. NiP don't really have much to work with at all. 3 players in T-spawn. We have got Exist making his way up long A. The hero of the previous round might have to step up here again. He's one of the few players with the AK-47. They have got utility. They opted for strategy over firepower going into this round. And so far, they are at a disadvantage. It's Fur once again. This time, a little bit more caged. He's not at the top of middle.
Yeah, but you say caged. Formerly the position that he used to get all of his flanks as far back as Cluj, as far back as the early days of the Brazilian roster, was inside of bathrooms. He's very good at just staying put and not panicking, staying silent. You can see it, Draken almost runs over and walks directly into him. Rez has gone behind him, but this is it. This is it. This is what Fur does every time. It's like he is literally controlling the simulation Anders talks about. Every time in bathrooms, he gets a kill from behind. It's going to be immediately inside of the site that they'll have to push in from long. Bolts is ready for get right. Bomb drop. Draken only with the 1 response. And the round is gone. The reset is going to hit 9 seconds. Draken has no chance to find 4. Needs to die early, in fact, given the money situation.
It took the heroics Exist to get the first round on the board, but that will be forgotten as we go into the next round. 6-1, full reset coming through with no bomb planted. It's looking too easy for that man in the screen right now. Fur completely lighting them up every single round. Behind enemy lines, He seems to find kills with players that are knifes out, and yet they have no idea where he is. It's so difficult to play against him. With a round like that, when he goes passive, you just assume, okay, he must be playing back on the bomb site now, but no, he's there, still in an aggressive position, and he'll be looking for some anti-eco frags here. The nade successful, they'll be rushing towards his position, looking for the spray down. He'll take one and fall back.
All back, 9 kills to Fur's name, Bolts and Cold each on 8, everyone chiming in. Get right, gets a kill on Fur at the very least, but unfortunately without the weapons they can't do much more. Forrest and Get Right, both left alive, at least with an M4 picked up, but not much to work with. Cold's already spotted them. Shoulder pick toward bathrooms, Bolts responds accordingly, 7-1. We all love that scoreline when Brazil's involved.
Oh yeah, you have to, don't you?
I am a slave to the meme.
You are, but I still enjoy it every time it comes through. It will be round number 9, money available for NiP once again. Not amazing, they don't have the potential for the AWP from what I can see. They've got 4 AKs so far. Forrest yet to buy, he goes for the Galil. Still struggling into this round, we'll keep following Fallen as he seems to be the protagonist in most of the start of the rounds. He manages to get the opening pick. This time not pushing, but he will be boosted up from the B side once again. They dropped the incendiary at the very start. Fur is looking for more kills at the very start of the round. Can hear them going towards long.
Incredible, this game. This is textbook from Fur. So much information again. They've got to start to check these angles. They consider it. Good find from Get Right, but he's confirmed that all 5 were there. He heard enough footsteps to say, yep, absolutely, start the rotations and be ready for the A approach. Now that said, they are getting aggressive toward T-spawn. Taco responding to what Fur called, but there is a gap toward the lower stairwell and a connection back towards Squeaky. NiP need to be ready for Taco's presence. It seems Forrest is both sneaking in, both quietly, and Forrest finally figures out that SK wants to play that game style.
Waking up to the plays of the aggressive tactics of SK Gaming. It's Taco with a reactive play all the way through T-spawn. You can see NiP biding their time, not giving anything away at that point. They've got the 5-on-3. Surely this is their round. They head towards the B side, but wait. There's a monster on the other side in more ways than one. It's coldzera waiting behind the pillar. Can he get anything done here? Misses the opening spray, will get the frag, and a double! Is it enough as we go to a 3-on-2?
Considering how wide he was of the pillar with 3 players essentially walking in, that was pretty good from Cold. It still gives the advantage to NiP with the bomb going down. Fallen the first to arrive on the AWP, and he'll wait for Bolts to take over from Water. Exist already had the spot at short pipe to spot his entrance, and for the first time, SK is going to back off and have to save. In fact, despite that it's 7-1, despite that there was a reset for NiP, they've kept the economy fairly modest on the SK side.
Yeah, they have been finding picks and making sure at least take a few players down with them every single time. This time it's Fur taken down once again. I think he has to maybe change his approach, maybe focus on connector, or even just falling back. The bathrooms could be a viable option as well, because he is finding success, sure, but now it seems that they're focusing and taking him down first and then capitalizing when the reactions come through. Taco tried it towards T-spawn. Forrest waiting for him, and that's exactly how NiP are going to win these rounds. Let SK play themselves by keep going aggressive, is hold up and make sure you trade them out. So we'll have a look. So Fallen does save the AWP. They will be able to buy into round number 10 here. NiP need to start finding multiple rounds in a row, break them fully, get them onto an eco. The only way they're going to have a chance to keep building up some momentum here. coldzera with the AWP. They got double AWP set up. They have. This is where things become very problematic indeed. coldzera has been playing absolutely lights out Counter-Strike with this secondary AWP, very aggressive as well. Fantastic in the clutches. And we'll see if Fallen, who goes towards long at the very start, will be challenged, as we have got 3 NiP players heading towards that area.
On the flower pot just barely misses the headshot toward long as Rez, Exist, and Draken all try and take position. And they're going to act a little bit quicker at least being, or at least taking the long control. The problem is Fur again's inside of a smoke. Fallen swinging over after being out toward long, finds Get Right. Early advantage, funnels them away, and Fur has room to wiggle because of it. Pops out, finds Rez. Playing perfectly in tandem. Good response from Forrest, at least gives them something to look forward to, or at least be optimistic about on the NiP side, as Exist as well. Walking through his smoke is hoping he'll catch them out. The second smoke's kind of ruining that plan for him, hoping to catch them off. Thinking the smoke was enough.
Oh, Existo does push the smoke and manages to get their headshot, and that's the opening they need. They will fully commit towards the A bomb side. Draken and Existo waiting for the smokes. They'll be held off by Fallen, who's at the truck right now, looking to take the advantage once again. We still have 45 seconds, but Taco, he's coming from the connector. He could sabotage absolutely everything. If he peeks and finds Forrest, that's going to be a difficult kill to take, though, because Forrest isn't messing around today. Hits another headshot, and it's going to be a 3-on-2.
Inside sight, misses one from Fallen. That's enough for Draken to get a response. Swings in with the AK, and Cold missing as well. No chance, as NiP finally gets 2 in a row. And a 7-3 scoreline that will break SK down.
So patient for NiP. They've got a really strong game plan today. Forrest enjoying himself there, waiting for the flanks to come through. Even when they have the advantage, they're waiting. They're making sure every threat has been neutralized. And we're looking at the flanks. It was Forrest that vanished to find Taco once again coming from the connector, took him down, and round was done. Money finally going to be in a strong position for NiP and a very weak one for SK now. So they'll have P250s, Deagles, CZs, and they'll be going towards a connector here. NiP need to make this a clean round. 4 players surviving at least.
Draken. Just wait to see if SK want to continue to be fast-paced on the CT side. No one really wanted to do so, but a little bit of a stacked crossfire. Trade potential for Bolts and Fallen. For just above. Forrest timidly will be checking the corner for them. No one's going to be showing, and this is a trap. Walk in, 1, 2, 3. In fact, they don't even need to all peek. Exist goes down the stairwell, needs to respond, and will. Took a bit, but the AK with the low HP on Bolts was inevitably going to find it. Unfortunately, Forrest watches from the sidelines, but his job done. They were able to respond and trade.
Could get a little bit dicey here. There will be a team kill coming in, but it's fine. It's the 3 versus 1 now. Taco, he's pretty far removed from the situation, currently resides on the A bomb site, and we'll see whether he can actually rotate through and find anything here with the Desert Eagle. Takes a shot to the face, goes down to 1 HP, and he'll be dealt with by Draken to finish things off there. Good work by NiP. Slow start, but now they're up to 7-4. We might have another eco here for SK. We'll have a look as to where the final money sits. They're about 3,500 to 4K at the very top. So it looks like they will be buying here, but it's certainly not going to be a strong one. There won't be any double orbs going into round number 12 here. They get 4 M4A4s, and the UMP will come through. No head armor and 1 diffuse kit. It's going to be a difficult round for them. I was surprised if they can convert this. Does Fur keep going aggressive at the very start of the round? That's the question. As Fallen holds towards long A, Fur will indeed be right by the choke point of middle.
Taco, the only one who's not getting a massive amount of frags for SK, but hasn't really needed to. Given the amount of pressure applied by Fur, Cold, and Fallen. It's in there as well with 11. It's Fallen this time, just going to sit behind the truck and jump to see if anyone's out toward long. Meanwhile, Rez cover off the bathrooms. The AWP can't quite take the angles he would like to this time as well with Fur so far back. They actually get bathrooms control, having not lost a man in the round. I think every single time they've gotten to the bathrooms, they've already had forced into battle and forced to trade at least someone.
We've got deep crossfires this time. You can see Fur, the very precipice of the bathrooms there is Fallen and Bolts to cover him, take the aggro away, allow him to get some more backstab players. Fallen already down to 11 HP. We can have a full execution pretty much for the first time for NiP here. All 5 players alive. They have long A control and middle. They'll deploy the smokes. Flashbangs will go in momentarily. They just want to trade out frags. Fur will be the first line of defense. They can't handle him just yet, but the trade comes through. That's looking very good now.
He's fine. Approach it long, shut down temporarily from Bolts, but he's in a limited position. That corner's so tough to get out of once you're committed. So it's 1 for 1 as expected. Get right, getting the response kill and planting the bomb. They'll back off, burrow their way into the bathrooms. They have the AWP for Draken, but it's at long, rather than in the bathrooms with the straight line of sight toward the post-plant position. And therefore, it's got to get aggressive. Interestingly, Draken's going to do exactly that. An off-angle. Cold. Didn't quite spot him with the jump. If Draken moves even slightly, Cold will, the edge of the smoke. Somehow he stays completely out of the vision of Cold. He was lurking atop the truck. It's Taco instead. SMG wants to get aggressive. Good find from Forrest. Falling goes back. AWP misses. Inevitably, therefore, Cold's able to find the kill. And in the knife, or in the smoke rather, with the knife, they try and find, get right in. Somehow he tracks Fallen down, running away.
I'm really liking this from NiP. They've got themselves together. They're being very patient, very disciplined. Every kill they get, every bit of map control they have, they're converting it and making sure they don't make any mistakes here. Forrest hitting absolutely everything. The Draken Orb hasn't really had to come out too much, and it's another round when they've broken the economy of SK here. 7-5, and we might tie things up eventually as we've got 7-5, and just the Deagles, the CZs. We have got a bit of body armor here. Since they got their economy stable, it seems like NiP have looked like a stronger team in the gun rounds almost. They seem they've got the game plan completely locked down of SK. Find the aggression, hold together, trade frags, and this should be no different. as it will be the first 2 kills coming in favor of the Swedish side. 5 on 3, waiting for rotations to exist, looking towards that connector door.
Good hold from Forest.
Yeah, everything's just covered right now. They've always been very good in the anti-eco situations, making sure they don't give anything away.
Considering the early buy was a loss and they still went down even with the second buy in there at 5-0. Hit with the reset. You'd expect this half to just open wide up for SK and they'd be running away with this game. And NiP's done very well to pull back in again, keeping the economy modest. Good disciplined game plan, as you were saying. And now they're starting to string rounds together. They've adapted well to SK and what they're throwing, literally throwing at them. I mean, Fur being so aggressive for 5 straight rounds.
We're used to seeing on this map especially, teams when they can't get rolling at all, they'll go to a B rush or a contact B play or a set piece off the bat. And now we're just seeing NiP defaults every single time. Shut down that aggression. If you can find Fur, you're going to win the round. And once they get the opening pick, which they have been finding, slowly get the map control, dissect the map, push those CTs back towards the bomb sites, drop the smokes, keep them modest. And for this round, it will be 1 AK status in the hand of Bolts right now. Fell with the Desert Eagle T-Sport, surely gets nothing out of this. There's a little bit of damage, but ultimately he will be taken down. The AK will be saved as the loss bonus starts to rack up now for the SK side. 5 rounds in a row, so that's an absolute maximum. Fallen brings out the AWP. Doesn't look like coldzera will join him this time. We'll have a look at the frag charts while we're here at the same time. Bolts at the very top, 13 kills, 7 deaths. Similar story for existing Get Right. They're at 12 right now as we head into round number 14. First map of the best of 3 here. NiP, the defending champions of this tournament. Considering recent form and results, you wouldn't think that would be the case, but it's up to SK to try and knock them out here and make their way to the grand final.
So Fallen now looking more traditional. Staying on the A side. Fur's expecting the high side peek toward the party. It's Rez that sneaks underneath. And a good find. They know he plays that corner very, very commonly.
It's Fur going down again. Great start to the game, but it will be equalized as Fallen manages to find exist there. No flashbangs coming through. That's
and
disappointing.
Unorthodox from Fallen to go back for more. Usually you'd expect, especially after trading back to a 4 versus 4. Op hits one, runs to site. He was trying to catch someone out. Far as cold as well is going to wait. Times it to perfection, or does he? Good shot back from Draken. That was quick, because it easily could have been a spray lineup and Cold could have shut the round down. Now they have a chance to walk inside of the site as Draken posts to watch the ramp. Taco will stay to the mound instead. Look for the headshot over the top. AK spraying through is always going to win that battle. And speaking of AKs, Bolts had operative word on the CT side as he gets taken down by Get Right.
2 versus 1. Fallen with no kit. The AWP in hand is certainly not an ideal situation, but give him an opportunity and he'll more often than not convert it to success. He'll drop down, he's committed, spots one, shoots him in the back. It's now 1 versus 1. Draken with the AWP as well. Remember, it's Fallen who has to defuse the bomb on this one. He has found a kit, and Draken holds towards shore. The mind games start to come into play here. The Molotov's deployed. He might go for the full defuse here. I would say he commits, but with the poor position of the bomb, this could actually be a real tough time for Draken.
Flash revealed exactly where he was coming from, and Draken beats Fallen. Talk about having to be quick. Bomb down certainly favored, but it's another round. 7-7. They pulled this back. And speaking of pulling it back, you'd expect, therefore, incredible performances from everyone. Well, Rez, top dog from NiP, I think he sits with only 4 kills currently, 5 kills. So he's not the one doing all the work. It's Get Right that leads the way.
He has been quiet so far, but that round just then, he opens it up, gets the opening pick towards Fur in the bathrooms once again. And we're going to round number 15. It has to be the force buy from SK. They'll get the UMPs, the Famases, and 1 AWP. And Forest once again shuts down Fur. Fur really needs to address his issue. It might be a little bit too late. He's had a couple of really successful rounds, but after that, it seems like NiP have got his number.
Fallen, good find. Waits patiently for Forest. Bolts, meanwhile, trying to find a reverse position toward Get Right. He snuck through the bathrooms and got him behind him. Can't do so. That opens up all of the A side, including long. So Rez easily able to walk in and plant the bomb. Round 15, they have to go. No kits. Fallen has the AWP, but smoked off. They're going to go through it. No flash. No kits, no flash means no entrance. As exists, take out the easy kills as Cold is the last alive. And NiP, they pull this back 8-7. They're going to win the half.
They were 7-1 down, and they come on top there. What a great game plan there. They stuck with it, and it came together eventually. That's actually looking very good for them on SK's map pick as well. I'm actually very impressed with the game plan they brought here today. Matthew, I think we need a little break after that one, and SK, I'm sure they do as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
8-7, both teams had rounds, or at least stretches of almost 7 rounds in a row. It was 7-1 for SK, and somehow NiP pulled it back. A brilliant half, like you say as well. They didn't just collapse, implode, and start running toward bomb sites either.
Nothing too technical came out there. We didn't see any crazy avant-garde strategies deployed or any fakes going on. Just a real nice approach of basic fundamental Counter-Strike, waiting for the aggression to come through and converting those rounds to victories. It was actually really nice to watch. We're getting to the second half, and it will be a more tactical buy here from SK. Got 2 smokes and a couple of Molotovs to work with as well. It's Draken to get the first shot off. He does a bit of damage towards coldzera, and we're heading towards long aim with those Glocks, looking to execute on the A bomb side, it seems.
All the way down long for leads. The approach, Draken, the one to wait. Fires early, can't fight. Fallen immediately with the headshot, has to fall off of the angle. Get a rotation in from Forest as well. Kit with Get Right. Interestingly, it's not Exist, who's typically you see it staying with the in-game leader.
Exactly.
So smoke toward the back steps, the dumpster. Goes in, and it's Forest to shut him down. We know he's formerly had a history of being a menace on pistol rounds. He hasn't exactly always showed it, but a good first shot. Unfortunately, Taco and Cold able to converge and immediately take back the lead for the SK side as Bolts backs off, bomb already planted, and Cold is aware that Exist is lurking on the other side. Remember, Get Right's the one with the kit, so he has to get close to the site, and he will play accordingly. Exist does at least get Taco. It gives him a much better chance, level footing, but he has them all distracted. Get inside of the site. That's 2 spotted toward bathrooms. Isolating long if they can get on it. If Rez can hold the battle, they've got a chance to try and stick this. Unfortunately, that's gone. Good shot from Cold. And Get Right now knows he has to fight if he wants any chance to win the round.
Such a difficult situation for him. Smoked off towards long, but he knows as soon as he touches that bomb, 2 players be coming towards him. He downgrades to a Glock. Somehow does the damage. Comes out on top. He still has a chance in this one. If the burst fire works out for him, it won't. Fallen comes out on top, but still a very good effort there by Get Right. All things considered, it was touch and go.
I'm so surprised Fallen didn't peek sooner.
Yeah.
He's sitting there taking like a good 3 or 4 second battle, a duel off the bomb. I mean, Fallen was, I thought, immediately beside him, but didn't want to go back through the smoke. So left it late, was obviously going to play at the time, trying to play the very disciplined approach. It pays off because SK now find their first round at 7.
No force by him from NiP. They're looking at the bigger picture here. Upgraded pistol, sure, but no real armor or nades deployed. They know if they're going to have a chance to find frags with this Desert Eagle CZ, it'll be just like that! One bullet, one kill. Forest takes down Fur. He is hitting absolutely everything right now, and they can hold up. And we've got a boost towards B. I think that's a three-man stack towards the B bomb site itself. We have indeed. So this is looking quite good now. They can funnel them towards that area. This could work out. We could see some fireworks go off in round number 17.
Have to stay in the corner. You can't change the angle with that boost because when you're the third man up, you actually slide off. Which is why Get Right is forced into the wall as Setch. Both pistols have now gone the way of SK, so the majority of gun rounds have actually gone to NiP. Doesn't help them any.
Oh!
They all count. Draken, that one counts as well. 2 Deagle shots in the round. It's suddenly a 5 versus 3 for NiP and Draken. He knows there's a gun on the other side of the flower pots. Good shot from Cold, but he knows there's likely more SK players as well, and he's right in assuming so. My goodness, Forest!
This is unbelievable, the shots he's hitting right now. He's just toying with them, looking for more. Long A finally taken down. It's a 3 versus 2. coldzera and Taco have to try and salvage the round as they make their way towards the A side. It's Taco looking for the flags, but it might not matter. The bomb goes down. 25 seconds. How have NiP done this? The shots were just stellar. And now coldzera, I don't think he has a chance in this one. He won't even have time to get the bomb down here. NiP just looking for the final frag. It's Forest, it's Get Right, it's Draken bringing home the bacon as they manage to hit every single shot there with the Desert Eagle. Really, really nice work. No armor required there, Matt.
Not at all. That's, I mean, incredible. Forest, personality as always. Yeah, I'd be happy after those 2 shots.
Oh, that was so sick. Look at this.
This one was just incredible. Swings out, bang, bolts down, and that was his second Deagle shot in the round that was successfully on target. NiP, I mentioned losing both pistols. Well, this is certainly one way to compensate. Win the ensuing eco, or force spy, if you will. And now have a chance to take control. And I'm very curious to see how, we saw SK's constant aggression, Fur constantly being aggressive. How disciplined is NiP going to be?
Not very at the start there. It exists facing towards the monster tunnel. He'll be dealt with by coldzera. Early advantage, some damage inflicted. coldzera throws over the AK-47 to bolts. They'll wait up here. They've managed to pull together their resources and got a couple of smokes and flashbangs to work with here, and a Molotov. Executing towards B is normally favored. You don't need that much map control to fully execute and unload on towards that B bomb site. Fur looking for any aggressive reactions coming through. Get rotates back towards B. Running out of time now. SK will need to work out. Do they go back towards the A site? coldzera is watching for flanks towards that connector. As we take more damage, Taco goes down to 15 points of health.
Good shot back from Forest. Cold and Taco low. Fallen at least grabs the AK again to work with. Rez has still been holding onto the bathrooms the whole time, so even if they rotate back, they have to pass his position at some point in time, so he's got the information required. Smoke will immediately go off to the heaven position. Allows a better entrance, takes out some of the range aspect from Monster. Just the 1 AK to work with. They don't even go in though. Forest gets in their face early. 26 seconds. They've got to go eventually if they want to at all, and apparently it doesn't matter because NiP's not going to allow them. Fallen, Taco, and Fur all go down. Just Cold remaining. AK picked up, do some damage where he can.
And I normally am a big fan of waiting for reactions to come through, but when you're in that sort of situation, when you've got a mixture of 1 AK and some pistols there, if you get an opening pick, you've got the utility and the positional control to execute. I think you go for it at that point. They were too apprehensive. They didn't commit as quickly as they should have done, waited for it, and it didn't have anything to work with towards the end. Forest is playing incredibly well. Looking so sharp today. Very confident stuff. It's 10-8 and another eco for SK. If NiP somehow pull off this first map victory map and move on to cash, they could actually clean sweep the series. This is actually looking promising for them.
Be incredible. And you've got FaZe on the other side with Cloud9 looking extremely hot. Fallen wants to go, speaking of hot through the flames. They're extinguished now and they'll walk directly into Exist. He sprays down everyone. 3 quick kills. Forest adds in his spray. Anything you can do, I can do, well, just as well. It all works. 5 straight kills, NiP, easy round.
They were 7-1 down. In the second half now, they're up 11-8. Money's starting to stabilize for the SK side, but they don't have that AWP. Draken certainly does, though. Here's the replay of Exist and Go, getting it done towards Jaw, making sure this eco isn't anything to worry about whatsoever. Forest to finish things off, and that's a little double there, and we'll get into round number 20. The AKs are out, we have got the smokes, but no Molotovs here, as we get a bit of aggression for the CT side towards that connector, and Fallen spots it. Does he want to challenge? It looks like he certainly does.
Good shot, Exist. They funnel Fur back around, he's ready at the sandbags. Rez gets Fallen back.
Good work, good teamwork there.
And you're right, well, definitely good choice, but you're right in saying that it's 7-1 down, it's now 11-8. It's, look, SK is not unbeatable, we know that. But in this fashion, with that many rounds against them, typically they're very dynamic, adaptive, and so individually skilled, you don't see teams just walk all over them.
They were very stubborn in the first half of their aggression. They didn't want to stop or take their foot off the gas whatsoever, but 3-on-3 for now. It's Rez that's half HP with bolts now towards short. Forrest, though, what a game he's having so far. He holds towards the B-bomb site. We have actually got Rez in the bathroom. So with 1 minute remaining, we'll see if there's any mistakes made by the CT side, and SK will try and capitalize upon those. But they've left the B side completely open by the looks of things now. Forrest rotating back through.
I think a lot of that stubbornness probably comes from resilience that they weren't expecting from NiP. They were expecting that when they were probably so far up, they would start rushing and collapsing, as you say. They did not, which has caught them off. But they're inside of the B site this time. A slow pace walk in. B site completely open, so it'll be a 3-man rotation retake, and all 3 will be coming back from Squeaky. Now, how far forward with the smokes down do they go? Because the further forward they go, more problems they'll have. 2 spotted at least. As Forrest gets bolts, he'll make the call, and they'll immediately turn their attention. But Taco is extremely low, and Cole is playing a very tough angle. Forrest gets the trade. This is absolutely going to be a retake for NiP, and it's a 12th round.
Power and numbers. They take a gamble. They're leaving the B bomb site open. Forrest rotating back through to his teammates. I guess in the 3 versus 1, they want to stick together and have a chance of retaking there. He goes back towards A. They hunt for information. They push towards middle. They get in the connector. As soon as that bomb goes down, they're ready to strike. Opening up the connector door. Flashbang towards short. First kill comes in. 3-on-2. And at that point, it's just trading out frags. Taco, low HP, could find 1, but that's all he'll get. And it will be 12 to 8. The bomb gets planted. Loss bonus certainly accumulating at the 4th stage. They can buy into this one, and we'll see whether they decide to do so. We have seen 1 AK-47 so far, and a second they will be fully committing here. Still can't get the AWP out, and such little utility to work with. 2 smokes, 1 flashbang, and a Molotov. That's it. They are fully invested into the round. SK Gaming are on the ropes right now. NiP dictating the pace of the game, and actually looking very good as a unit.
Toward the smoke, there's a gap inside of it. Might as well at least be inquisitive behind it, but no one there. There's someone out toward that part of the map, but it's the other side of the wall, over toward Long A, where Rez waits. See if he gets a chance to strike, and he could. I think they may have overlooked this position. They're not even putting any pressure on toward Long. The fact as well that they've brought Get Right out to support him means they have a crossfire set if they walk through bathrooms to take Long instead. And he still has all the potential in the world to go further forward. Cold is at least staring back in that direction. Consider the possibility. Get Right makes contact. The nade could be a kill for Get Right if he throws it correctly, but it doesn't quite land. He'll stay alive, and more importantly, Taco finds exist. Now Rez has to respond. Bomb down. That'll buy some time and space, but not so much in the fact that Fallen swings in behind him and immediately executes. As soon as they lost Get Right, there was nowhere except for forward for Rez to go.
Rare advantage now for SK. It's been a struggle in the second half, but it's a 4-on-3. But 2 players very low indeed. They still have 40 seconds remaining, but only 1 smoke here, and that Molotov. Forrest hunting for information. It looks towards middle. Narrowly misses out on spotting Furb, and they'll make their way towards the B side. That's where Draken is with the AWP. Not an ideal situation as Forrest tentatively looks towards top of middle there. Lucky to be alive, and he wants to fight here, and fight he shall as he takes down Get Right. This is looking very good now. Brave plays from Fallen, and might even get a second frag here as he takes all the aggro away from the B side, but Draken, he's not moving, and he's hitting shots.
Certainly is behind the pillar, goes back for more. He still has the lineup shoulder bait.
10 seconds.
Bakes him out, but you're right, 10 seconds. They have to get to the site. Bolts' kill allows them. Fallen will cover it off, and they just get to the plants in time. I shouldn't say just in time. They have 2 seconds to spare, but that's not exactly a lot. Fallen! I thought would easily get the shot. Forrest finds 2 back, and just barely they hold on as Fur gets the trade.
1 more bullet would have done it there for Forrest. He had to reload. If he pulls the pistol out and nails it, could have been a different story. But he still keeps them very modest there. SK Gaming have been struggling with the economic side of the game. They managed to convert a 3 versus 1 to the 1v1, and Forrest still applying the pressure here. Money in abundance for the NiP side. They get a full buy here. Not the same story there for SK. They're winning rounds. Well, look, there's a deagle out for Taco. They bring out the AWP for the first time, but there's no helmet there. And Rez, he's looking to give a taste of his own medicine as he pushes top of middle here.
Rez is still forward. Taco still back towards spawn, so in fact SK just sitting well back in this round and seeing if NiP wants to get into any potential traps or crossfires. Getting over aggressive. Rez has to be careful. He's essentially in the exact wrong position for this because Taco can slip in behind him. In fact, Fur, what a shot, just takes him down immediately.
On a plate there, Rez, he had to convert that frag. 20 bullets or so, couldn't get the shot off, and Fur can't believe his luck that he's still alive here. And we'll see whether Draken can find the kill in return. Difficult shot coming up.
Run boost. Oh, wow! That's a flick if you've ever seen one. Draken certainly up to it. There was a run boost to get fallen so wide. And that's why Draken overpeaked it, but what an incredible compensation as he runs back, just barely gets around the corner as well. Tagged to 49. But Fur is extremely low. Flash will buy him more space. Hug the left wall because he's got to get back in the side. He's low. He can't do it. Taco spots him too soon. And bolts at the front of the site. Forrest now knows he's got pressure applied, and he has to hold on. More so because the rotations aren't quite in position. So instead of sitting in the site, he has to get forward and go exactly where there's space on the map.
20 seconds again here, Matt. Now 15 as Taco and Fur nowhere near the bomb site. Forrest locking them in from the bathrooms as well. They can't plant. This round's over. The category can't do anything about this. They have to save. It's Draken to save the day there. We speculated as to whether he could even perform on the big saves, but he's proving that he certainly can. What a play that was. After losing the first pick, he's brave, takes 2 down along, and provides another round victory for NiP. So we keep 2 weapons in favor of SK Gaming, but there's no kill or loss reward for them, and they'll have $500 between them as we go 39 in favor of NiP. Here's the replay. That first shot, unbelievable. Really nice flick there, and that's the confidence to go for a second, knowing he needs to guarantee the round victory at this point.
23 for Forrest, 21 for Cold. He's taken over the lead on the SK side. Taco on 7. Rez on 10. They're the bottom side of it. Taco, again, was super impressive in the quarterfinals. Rez has been impressive throughout.
This has been more par for the course. This is the kind of numbers he's putting up in the other stages of the tournament. He certainly has been dropping off. Yeah, absolutely great in the quarterfinals, but they've gone by now. We need performances right here, right now.
I feel like, again, Taco does get a lot of I guess...
Flack.
Flack, yeah. A lot of people harp on him about his performances, but again, he is playing roles, and Fallen speaks to this, where he is in that position, and a lot of the success he gets is on entries. They haven't had a great T side, so it's not surprising to see it hasn't exploded on the scoreboard, as you might expect. In fact, they've only gotten 2 rounds on this T side, and only one of them is a gun round. The other was the pistol.
Well, forced by into this round, the AWP comes through, an M4 for Taco, saved from the previous, and 3 CZ. This is looking quite grim. NiP in touching distance now of picking up a map victory on SK's pick. No one does that to SK. NiP certainly doing a good job here. Remember, they're 7-1 down as well. To be in this position, it's fantastic.
And it's such discipline from CS from NiP as well, which I think SK can't respond to. It's just so fundamentally correct. There's not many openings to take advantage of, which is why, even with, okay, fair enough, falling on the AWP, I was going to say in this round, having the AWP and the M4, it may not be enough to open it up, but if they find the early picks, it certainly can be. Forrest is down to 24 as well. This at least gets Taco off-site at Monster. It gives them something to work with. Peculiar position for Rez because he now has to fall back, and Cold is far too close. Ooh. The dink as well, get right. He's on 23. This could be the round they win, just after I thought, again, fundamentals, I thought this would be impossible to break them down without weapons.
Well, it's going to be Fur now hunting for Get Right, knowing that he's dinked. He's got the AWP in hand. Won't be able to hit that shot. He's given him the second bite of the cherry there, but he'll fall back as the incendiary lands towards long. It's a chance for Get Right to fall back to the crossfire position. 35 seconds, a 3-on-3 with 2 players. Very low indeed. And this exists coming for the flank. He's from the connector. He could cause a ton of damage here if he can find Cold Zera. He certainly does. 3-on-2 now. Time ticking away, and we'll clear it towards long.
Shots out. Fallen can't hit, down to 6 HP. That's going to be a problem because now numbers outweigh the HP in so many ways. Forrest in their face, and that's going to be the round, surely, because Fallen gets traded and he was low on HP. 14 for NiP.
Forrest comes out swinging to the bank area, knowing the time was low. At 3 versus 2, they can afford to sacrifice 1 player. If he kills 1, that's it, round done, and nothing they can do. SK are finding the opening picks here, but that round they just didn't have the firepower to do anything with it. Shut down by the incendiary, had to wait. NiP coming for the flank. It exists to take down one of the key players, Fur, in the back. And it's going to be 49, an eco at map points. Well, potentially coming up. This is allowing NiP to almost come as close to the map out.
Not quite to map point yet.
But you know what?
It seems like it's there, yes.
This one should almost certainly bring in map points.
Draken waits patiently this time. Ooh, again, there's kind of what we spoke about.
Yeah.
He hits ridiculously hard shots.
That's so true, isn't it?
And then that's directly in front of his crosshair, and I think he's like so used to the muscle memory of flicking that when it's already aimed, he's like, what do? I can't just leave my hand still.
Unfortunately, up against the Glocks and P250s, it shouldn't really affect the outcome of the round as Reds get the second kill, 5-on-3, low HP on another player for the SK side as well. We are going to find map point for the NiP side. They were 7-1 down. And here we are on the SK map pick. NiP looking solid, a strong unit right now. Nothing too fancy, just playing great CS, hitting the shots. Players like Forest looking fantastic. Rare starting to come to life now. And Draken with some crazy flicks at the same time. 15-9. Last chance for SK Gaming. They'll bring out 2 Galils, 3 AK-47. They've got the utility to work with here. But 6 rounds in a row just to force overtime. It seems very unlikely at this point.
Unlikely indeed. I was praising Fur for being absolutely menacing and incredible at the start of this game.
Yes.
I was thinking the way that he was playing,
the first 2 or 3 rounds he did it, it was great.
He's dropped off entirely, by the way. 13 kills total after all of that. I think he was up to 10, probably on round 6 or 7. So, yeah, huge fall off from Fur. Better from NiP. Get right and exist. They'll line them up. This is done.
Oh!
It's all done. Fallen in a 1 versus 5, and Forest finds him. 16-9. NiP take map 1 over SK.
A vintage performance there for the Ninjas. 7-1 down. They show tenacity and they hold it together. A great basic approach to the game, and Threat's got to be very happy with that one. They stayed composed. The young guns performed, and it just looked like SK got shut down there when their initial aggression was found out.
Remarkable performance all the way through. Again, Rez didn't lead the way, but everybody else stepped up. And Draken, he won a number of duels, both sides of the map on the AWP versus Fallen. Not an easy thing to do against SK on Overpass. We get to Cash next. That's NiP's pick. This could be done in 2. If SK don't wake up, we'll take a short break and join the desk.
Let's get fragging. It's time to start your second map of your first semi-final here at IEM Oakland 2017.
And a second map that is NiP's choice. They're in the hot seat, 1 up.
Oh, yes.
On SK after winning on Overpass.
I said the fact that Cash is in the map pool right now meant there's a chance of the 3rd map. We could have a 2-0 here for the defending champions, NiP. I actually favor them here. This is actually quite interesting to see how this one will pan out. It's going to be NiP side on the T side. 4 sets of armor, 1 smoke, 1 Molotov, and they're heading towards A. This could be a very fast approach. Nothing towards middle or B. Indeed, it will be Fur and Bolts. Not at a retake setup. They've got Fur towards the quad and Bolts looking towards A main.
Draken and Exist to enter the site direct. Reds towards Squeaky Door. Bit of a trip over each other's. They got off on each other's heads, but Exist finds the opening pick. Force down. Bolt has an angle. Finds one and falls off a second as well. He's looking extremely sharp on the USP. And as he fights forward to find Forest, he will eventually go down. That allows the bomb plant for Get Right. And on the retake, it's Fallen that has the kit again. In-game leader typically carries it. Cold-Zero, good shot to Get Right. Finds the head as he jumps on the E-box, and he's got great movement because he's already up on top of the catwalk. In fact, doubly our SK in the position, which is uncommon, unorthodox not to see so many players there. It means they're trying to trade off of each other as Fallen jumps back down. They want to isolate Forest. Good find. It's on to Draken. Tucker's tagged, but over the top, nothing they can do. Good retake from SK.
Yeah, nice to note the movement there of Cold-Zero. That was just beautiful to watch. The fact he's getting up towards that heaven position, gets the bird eye view of the bomb site. It was a nice start from NiP. They got the opening frag. Bolts, though, he was key in that situation. He bought so much time. He only brings it to the 3-on-3 short, 2 frags, but there was about 15 seconds there where the bomb didn't go down. His teammates to rotate through and have a viable chance of retaking the bomb site here. So you can see this first shot comes through. Lovely stuff. Falls back, nails the second. Can't do the 3rd, but his job was done at that point, and it will be SK Gaming with the much-needed pistol around there. And it'll be 1-0 up, of course. The bomb plant is a very similar situation we had to on Overpass. The bomb goes down in the pistol, and you lose the round. You bring out the AKs in the 3rd. So this round is a chance to see what you can do with the Desert Eagles, P250s. Nothing else really purchased here. Objective to get the bomb down. That'll be the first task, but that's going to be very difficult without the utility here.
Forest with the Deagle in hand, can't find much. There's no one to spawn inside of middle. Again, though, as you talked about, they go for more rifles this time, but they elect to keep the MP9s up, so obviously they're faithful. SK toward them. As Forest clears off the cubby way underneath the drop, he'll hold with the Deagle. His bomb is still well out towards Squeaky. In fact, with the push through and the rotation down highway, the site's actually available and open for a plant. This finds Forest. That will at least cause a pincher position. This is entirely working. They've got 1 player with bomb, Draken, who's now inside of the site. No one at A at all. He's going to get a bomb plant down, which will inject another $800 on top of the $1,900 they will get for this round into the wallets of NiP, and they've realized it late. They pushed so far forward, but didn't consider Squeaky.
Now, Draken definitely will win this round, but his job is done. That's amazing. They've got 2 bomb plants in a row. If he gets 1 kill, that will help, unlikely, as Fur takes him down. So sure, SK win the round. Luckily with 5 players alive, if that bomb goes down, it means even the AWP's a possibility now for NiP if they wish. I don't think they will. I think it'll be the 5 AK-47s with the full utility here. We'll see which way they're inclined as we get into round number 3. NiP's chances just got boosted tremendously. As SK bring out the AWP themselves, will be Fallen, obviously holding that weapon. Couple of lesser weapon sets to use. Was that you, Matt?
I don't know what that was. I thought it was you.
An MP9 and a FAMAS as we get into round number 3. It's always going to be a difficult round to hold off the full buy, but we'll see whether NiP will bring anything interesting. As Fur, of course, aggressive straight away with the MP9, open things up, pushing through the smoke, down to 20 HP, but he gets away with it.
I suppose if you're going to have the only SMG in the round and Fallen's going to invest into an AWP, you might as well throw a Hail Mary with it. It certainly works. 19 HP, and Fur gets away with the advantage.
Yeah, that's a really nice play from Fur. He got shut down towards the later stage of the first half and Overpass, but with the MP9 pushing the smoke, it's the unexpected play. We'll have a look at Fallen, who's in the squeaky door for now, but it doesn't look like NiP will end up there just yet. They are flirting with the idea of going towards the B-bomb site. Get right makes their way towards Checkers, but there is a slight caveat to that. coldzera waiting behind the boxes, and Get right hasn't checked it just yet. If they go for the boost here, this could all fall apart. coldzera biding his time, hasn't shown anything just yet.
Get right is so deep in the site. Cold is going to have to be a hero because, unfortunately, inside of the site directly. Taco's got problems. I take it back. He actually compensates, finds an angle and backpedals to let Get right walk in. We've got a similar start to Overpass, and that SK win the early buy and now have a 3-0 lead with NiP back to pistols.
The patience there from coldzera was just unbelievable. Why they didn't check that position, I have no idea. He swings out, finds 3 in a row. He waits for so long. They fully committed towards B. They come through. The communication's just not there in time. They don't know where that's come from. And he starts shutting them down 1 by 1. Even gets the 3rd frag to finish it all off. Lovely stuff there from coldzera. And indeed, SK Gaming do fend off NiP with their force buy in the 3rd. It's round number 4. Money should be in quite the tight position. Yes, about $2,500 per player here. As we'll take a pause once again. It's almost identical to what we saw on Overpass. The 3-0 coming in, then the pause. The Eagles will come out once again. Remember, 7-1 down on Overpass, and NiP came back and won. This is now their map pick.
And just to continue that storyline and go back to Overpass, we just said it was the same thing. Early buy, and they were reset. It was the same timeout called by Exist. This time Force typed it in, but I'm sure Exist made the executive decision to sit and talk about the economy because they had to get back into the game early. 7-1 last time, so that's not exactly early, I suppose. This again. Draken tries to get some luck on his side and fire through the smoke at B. Slightly better vision, will push Fur back to the site. That's when Rez wants to catch him. So by design, he opens the door and Fur has to converge and cross at least one of the 2 angles. Good shot from Rez, and he's inside of the site.
He's found 2 kills on that Desert Eagle. These have proven to be very strong for the Ninjas. Get right gets the 3rd, and this could be the entrance we were looking for. It's 3-0 right now, but this looks like an NiP round all day long.
And they've got B site now because Rez being in A, an additional kill on Get right, they're panicking. They're going to rotate back because they're expecting the bomb to greet Rez in the open site, make that call, and even if Taco finds that kill, it doesn't really much matter because bomb is going down on the B site as we speak. I say that, however, Get right was found by Cold. It's going to make things interesting as he sits from heaven, but he's got to fall back. He can't quite get a position, excuse me, not from heaven. He's just below, walking in from the main entrance. But he has to be patient to allow Taco to get closer and closer. And Forrest's timing, Taco is turned. Easy shots, but pulls off with the deagle. Staying alive is enough because it's Taco that's going to be bothered by him being behind him and not know where to look. Instead, he has to get aggressive. He knows the Forrest is probably rotating around, so he'll wait behind the box instead. But time becomes a factor. coldzera's left with just 14 HP. He may have a kit, but there's no way they win this round. NiP's going to pull it back.
They absolutely are. It's Rez to open things up. What a beautiful round that was. After losing the force buy, it's the Deagles, no armor, that yields success here for NiP. Rez, the young gun, managing to open up 2 kills at that A side. We will save an AWP as coldzera gets it blown into his face there with the bomb defuse, the bomb explosion.
He was waiting for it. He knew it was in the mid connector.
It's 3-1 and NiP steal one away. Here's the replay of Rez. And it's tremendous work. He got the call from Forrest that the A push had come through to expect him falling back and nails that shot. Fur gets completely taken down. And the AWP comes out for Draken. Money's starting to look good for NiP, but we've gone to the double AWP setup for SK at this point. Obviously, it will be Fallen and coldzera. We've talked about it all tournament long. And Cold heads towards B. Fallen looking to get aggro here in the A main position, but he'll fall back after deploying the incendiary.
Double push, and it's Fallen on the off, surprisingly, that hits it, but they don't account for Fallen, or excuse me, for Forrest. In the corner, not common. That's a setup to counter the push through, because normally you have one at the door, one facing behind the box. And a good play at that, but the problem is they've lost more than 2, which is all they've pulled back in an early situation of a 3 versus 2. Lots of time to open up the map for NiP. And SK is going to spread to a 1-1-1 defense, essentially, one in mid for the fast rotation and information, and one on either bomb site. Forrest needs to be so careful. His back turns. Taco is close, sees the shoulder just as he looks away. Forrest tries to pre-fire in. And with him going down, Get Right has his work cut out for him. Thankfully, it is isolated down to just one in the site directly. He's going to have to act quick. Good pre-fire. Bomb plant immediate as well. He knows that there was, the next closest at least was middle. As Taco waits at the truck, Cold will try and get an angle on the secondary AWP. Get Right doesn't need to face either, but you know Get Right. He's planted it for main, but if he can find a way to be somewhat clever, he will, and this is his play at it. If anyone goes to check A main, he's got the angle for it.
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as they walk in by the forklift to even consider peeking that direction, he's got the headshot lineup. He's also got a chance to peek out when they get on top of the bomb. They do have a chance to defuse it in behind, though. And I don't know that Get Right realizes it. He's got the first kill. Kit's on it, and unfortunately not. It was just barely too tight inside, and Cold Zero pulls off a defuse.
He plants on the very edge of the bomb site there. As soon as the CT deployed the smoke, it's going to make things very problematic. Good effort by Get Right at the 3-on-1 situation, down to the 1v1, spraying through the smoke, but couldn't get it done.
And NiP's going to call another timeout because they have a decision to make. This is a reset, but they won a 4-spy previously, which built up the economy to a point where they could consider forcing around the weapon that Get Right carried over.
Oh, that should
I suspect that's the call. There's an op on the ground, so that's going to be it.
Here we go then, SK Gaming with a firm lead, 4-1, but very similar scenes to what happened on Overpass, almost identical in terms of the scoreline and the resets coming through. It was NiP at this point though, let a few rounds go on Overpass, went to 7-1. Can they find anything here in round number 6? As they bring out 3 AK-47s, Rez and Draken will have an AWP on the ground, presumably Draken picks that up. As the unpause is called, we'll have smokes, flashbangs and Molotovs to 3 of the players. Rez brings out the Galil. Double AWP setup. Do SK continue their aggression? It's been a talking point of this series so far, pushing A main in the previous round. They might have to push towards B this time. That looks like a full-on rush from NiP. All 5 players towards this side of the map, looking for the opening picks. Draken to try and set them up. No presence from the CTs to begin with, but the boost comes through. Spots one, can't hit the shot though. Draken will give the call to push into the bomb site and isolate the players in the back.
Good shot from Cole to make up for it, but you're right. It's exactly what NiP want to do. They want to get aggressive, get in their face, and catch them in transition. It works out. They've lost a lot of HP, and they'll lose Forrest as well. Good shot from Fallen. Just before the smoke did bloom toward heaven, so HP firmly in the favor of SK, but bomb going down. Rez does it with 5 HP. That's why it's desperate, because that nade any sooner denies the plant. Thankfully it's down, and they have an AK in Draken's hands, and Get Right's fallen back as well to watch the reverse side of the vents. Good shoulder peek from Fur. Has all the information they now know. Get Right's busy. They'll start to encroach upon the other side of the site from Tree. As Draken's forced off it as well with a Molotov, they're going to be near the platform before any in which kills or any information further is gained by NiP, and they know now Get Right has to be in the corner. Fur walks directly in. As soon as that was covered off by bolts, smoked off, Molotov as well, even though it's 10 seconds. There's
I don't think he has a chance.
No chance Draken gets back. Oh, you're right, he had to get off it. That's going to be extremely close.
It's
They
done.
made a mistake. That's a huge error. They miscalculated that. They didn't have to be anywhere near inside of the tunnels. They could have got on that much sooner.
Yeah, miscommunication there, the defuse kit. The player with the kit could have got there before. It looked like Draken had conceded. The smoke's down, the incendiaries as well. There was no chance. It was over. They just defused the bomb. It was done. And NiP probably can't believe it.
No, I didn't even consider. I thought they were on it. That's such an unexpected error. And from SK as well. Normally so disciplined. That's huge. Even Draken was falling back.
Yeah, he thought he was over. Like, well, I can't win this. It's just 3 players to find, a smoke down incendiary on all the choke points. I'm out. But it will be a round in favor of NiP. As we get in towards the B bomb side again. This time, Cold Zero, that secondary orb coming to life. He finds the first shot, takes down one of the key players of the NiP offense. That's Forrest in full back, safely towards the B side. But Draken's not done just yet. Another smoke will come through. They'll maintain the man advantage for now.
And that would have been an economic reset for NiP. That's a huge, huge mistake. They can still force in, and they still find the advantage early. Fallen, looking somewhat invigorated by the mistakes, wants to make up for it. Probably frustrated, naturally, being the captain of such a team. Good 2 kills before he does fall. Exist getting the refrag Opens up some space to get toward highway, but there's never a certainty without a smoke down at Z connector how far you can really go before someone will take back that position, and Bolts wants to do exactly that. Exist, he better have his timing perfect. Unfortunately not.
Yeah, the pre-aim there of Bolts is absolutely spectacular. The boost works out as well. This is going to be an SK round for sure. Rez left in the 4 versus 1. He'll get that first frag, but the bomb not on his back just yet. He's got a lot of work to do here. coldzera takes him down. The player that kicked it all off will finish things off there with the AWP. I've been waiting for this to come to life and show us what it can really do. This is SK up against it now. 5-2. This should be up on an eco now, NiP. A couple of resets coming in. Some very tight rounds indeed. There's about $1,900 per player. Looks like they'll just force buy into this one. They'll probably be double eco regardless. So CZs, Deagles, the armor's out. Flashbangs and smokes. We are rushing B once again, slowing things down right at the precipice. And we'll see whether they can bait out the shot and maybe snowball into the B-bomb side.
Good start from the pistol of Rez to at least get a trade back immediately. Get Right has the up. Rez, he's stepping up in spades.
Here he comes.
Pushes through with the CZ, gets an angle, but Fallen's ready for it. Bomb goes down as a result. They'll have to commit another body to the depths of the site to try and get the plant. Which not only makes them vulnerable on cross, thankfully a smoke still down, but it occupies a body, and they haven't answered Fallen. Finally the refrag, but again losing Exist. Now Get Right has to be the one to plant. He's also the one with the AWP. That takes him temporarily out of service, as they can push around to find. What a shot, Draken. And Bolts read it, knew the angle, pre-fires Get Right on an AWP. Not something you see commonly, and he's got a second kill around, he goes for more. But Bolts has the line, and it's 5-2 for SK, make that, 6-2.
Wow, get rid of the AWP. That would have been a way to close the round out, but it will be going in favor of SK. It's the force buy with the pistols, a contact play towards B. They get the trade, they get the bomb down, but Fallen just finds 2 frags, buys so much time for them, and the Bolts retake there from the vent. Just the pre-aim seems absolutely perfect. We saw in the previous round as well, in the connector, it completely shut down Exist. Coming through the vent there, finds Draken, just got that crosshair placement down to a T. As we get into round number 9, it should be the full eco now for NiP. Not looking too promising here. 6-2 down. Deagles will be out once again. No body armor, no nades. They'll be focusing quite heavily towards that B site. But for now, it looks like a very standard round. One towards middle, holding B storage, and we've got Draken trying to find an opening towards A. This time Fur won't be pushing the smoke by the looks of things, but watching for any players boosting up.
Fur swinging. Gets underneath, drop at least. For Rez behind. Rez goes down. In fact, Gold gets the shot immediately. So good start again for SK. Pistols, pretty straightforward. They'll build up their bank, which becomes a problem for NiP moving forward. NiP stole away SK's map, and SK looking to try and do the same against NiP on cash. They've now got a 7th round as Draken. They just wait, unfortunately. Will go down, and Bolts will find him immediately. No kills at all for the NiP side.
Very similar start here. 7-2 is the scoreline this time. It was 7-1 on Overpass. Money starting to stabilize once again for the Ninjas. They'll have the AK-47, but don't really have quite enough for the AWP from what I can see. It's going to be Exist to call another tactical pause here. The in-game leader trying to work out what's the approach. We haven't seen, again, many tactical plays here from NiP. We haven't seen the detailed set pieces come through towards that A-bomb site. I haven't really seen any of that or fast play towards middle. It's been quite slow and focusing towards B. A couple of good fakes coming in at times to time with the pistols, but so far it's looked quite quiet for them. So they'll have a chance here to work out what's the play. Do they maybe get a UMP instead to have more utility?
SK!
There's a fan.
Let's go! Go SK!
Couple of Brazilians, as you would say, Hank.
I would say that.
Not quite with as much elegance, but you would say it.
The buy will come through. Exist will bring out the final AK-47, as you can see. They have got the smokes to work with and a few Molotovs. I'd like to see some sort of set piece come through. It seems like they're all starting to ravish them at this point, but round number 10, and we'll flash towards B. It's Taco to maybe boost up in the vents here, as he'll get Molotov out of position. He'll have to fall back and get right, trying to shut down everything he can here.
Right, tries to find one through the smoke, won't do it. He's normally known to play inside of the B position.
Now, Cache is one of the most aggressive maps we have in for CT side especially. We saw what Fur was capable of on Overpass. He did get shut down towards the end of the half though, so it looks like NiP have got a very similar approach here. Wait for the aggression to come in, then try and dissect the map with some basic control. A boost up here, they'll be flashed through presumably. They won't just go up dry, and it's up to Fur and coldzera from the vent to try and shut them down here. There's the flash. Can the CTs find anything here from the vents? Can't hit the first shot, trying to take the aggro away for Fur.
Decent shot back though as Draken gets the shot immediately. Fallen. Getting very aggressive on the AWP. This time not towards Squeaky, which you oftentimes will see the solo op trying to tame. He's got the position toward door. They have no idea. Get right down. Incendiary to hold them off as well. They've got to make a decision. Go or not. Fallen finds 2 on an op inside of A main. That's pretty damn good. It still leaves them 3 aside, though, as they eventually do get the trade. And Exist reads that truck is open, but Rez has to enter on his own. Exist will cover back for a trade in his position. And what a shot from Rez to get bolts eventually. That now allows Draken to get much closer toward rotation position at truck specifically, but Tonko could slip up behind the smoke. Contact by Draken to hold off 1, but Tonko knows he's going to be running back, tries to catch him with timing. Doesn't want to commit. He might have been better off served to just go and get the kill because he goes down for free.
Yeah, spraying with the M4A4 through smoke. It's going to show traces. Exist capitalizes at that point. But what a great shot from Rez towards CT Spawn to open up that A-bomb site. He seems like his fragging potential in terms of entries is off the scales at points. Very, very strong aim with the AK-47. And it will be a 3-on-1 with coldzera trying to hold onto his M4 here. Not going to have the secondary orb this time as he holds towards the vents. And they will be at least flirting with the idea of trying to take him down here. The problem is the money's not exactly astronomical for the NiP side, so they don't want to fully commit to this one. coldzera sits to the bench. You can wallbang him, but that's very unlikely. It will be the 3rd round there for NiP. They keep 3 players alive, and SK Gaming, in terms of their cash, they're looking fine. It's not amazing, but they'll get a full buy here. There'll be a couple of compromises. I can see there's no AWP into this round. That will be down to the Famous and Fallen with the opening pick, so you think that's their round all day long with those sort of plays, but managing to get the trade and Rez to open up the A-bomb site, it all fell apart very quickly. NiP start the campaign here on cash as we go fast towards middle.
Wow, very fast. Forest, not even for the crisscross smokes, just 1 to cover off Z, close and a flash into it. Gets him in behind the hut. He's able to watch anyone underneath the drop. That's clear at the very least. Hasn't elected to go to the vents yet, and he doesn't have any support system over toward B if he did. He's got the angle to control highway. And he'll, I think, just wait at this point to see what else they can find. Again, though, SK's gotten aggressive inside of A main, and they're going to go for a boost this time. So Fallen without the AWP, not able to find footing, but now they've got a chance. Fallen goes down, Draken with the kill, and do they read that he didn't peek A main? Do they read there's still a boost potential in play?
Still plenty of time here. 1 minute on the clock. We've got Forest deep behind enemy lines as he makes it towards highway. Fur has not spotted it. He'll be aware it's a possibility. Might have to check, but it might not even matter. Bolts takes him down from the boost position, but Rez with the refrag. It's at the Fur and coldzera now on the retake as they come from CD Spawn and highway.
And immediately, coldzera knew exactly with bolts going down, so too did Fur, that they had to rotate in as fast as possible. Cold gets there, gets the kill, and backs out. Fur doesn't want to do the same. There's no flames at his feet, but there is bullets in his face as he tries to walk by, and Rez has the line held through the smoke, even if it bloomed or not. Speaking of lines, 2 against the wall. Rez only manages 1. It's Cold on 55. No nades to work with. Does have a kit, but against 2. Exist and Get Right, both very experienced players. It's going to be unlikely he's able to isolate this as he wants to, and I think he knows the situation. He's already backing off. This will be NiP picking up a 7-4 scoreline, their 4th round, and their 2nd in a row. And it is Rez who's stepping up now. 3 kills in this round for him.
Yeah, he's looking much better. Top of the scoreboard, 11 kills, 10 deaths. It's Draken has got a little bit quiet, only with 2, but he found an opening into this round, so that's absolutely fine. It will be 2 in a row for NiP, 2 players surviving. coldzera stays alive once again, but I think we have a full eco now. A chance to breathe for the Ninjas, but coldzera, arguably the world's best player in CSGO right now. He does save the M4A4. He's got the defuse kit, the smoke to work with as well. His teammates certainly capable of the Desert Eagles. This round will still be tough. NiP praised for how good they are in the anti-eco situations, how methodical they are, and how they have so much trade potential at all times. They need to make sure they get the opening pick first and see what is possible after that. Lovely work from Draken. Shoots after the smoke blooms, and they take down coldzera and that aforementioned M4.
Yeah, so forget that theory of trying to get aggressive on Cold's hands. Drop the bomb back down so Rez doesn't get caught. And the bomb in a position where they'd have to commit quite a few bodies, 2 bodies further. Go back and get it as Taco waits inside of the checker room. It's Bolts as well with his P250. Cover off Z. His teammates, as you can see, down in front of him, which does mean there is an M4 in that position. He's probably thinking about getting, but good read from Rez. Flashes behind. I would say he's arrived in this series.
Absolutely. He's looking confident now. Shaking off the nerves, got that first map victory, and he's going to find maybe another frag there. He gets it done. That's his third of the round, up to Taco now. 4 versus 1, no armor. Got that deagle towards a B bomb site. And look how disciplined NiP are still being, man. It's so rare to see this. Even when you've got a 4 versus 1, you know, he's just got a pistol. You're not rushing. You're making sure everyone stays alive here. Every single possible outcome is checked. And as you get right now, with the final coming in towards the site, we'll have an open area to get that bomb down and guarantee the victory.
Plant this time very wide from Get Right. We saw last time when he planted slightly tighter toward the metal objects. I'm not exactly sure what we call those.
The middle objects.
The metal objects.
Oh, the metal objects, okay.
Stacks.
Yeah.
They were able to fuse behind it in the smoke, but Rez able to take down Taco. Oh, default, typically when they're playing.
Taco not looking too infused right now as we head into round number 13. 7-5. We've got a tactical pause for SK Gaming at this stage. There's the shot from Draken through the smoke. If you do get a strong spawn, you can occasionally get there before the smoke goes down and get the opening pick, but Draken, he didn't even need that. He managed to actually take it down and open things up, and then his teammates with the boost managed to find coldzera very quickly, so that fear factor of having the M4 towards middle was quickly taken down. 7-5, NiP once again still had the possibility to win the half. Very similar scenes to the first map, as we do have a full buy here for SK Gaming. Fallen with the AWP once again, but there are a few problems here. The UMP for Taco once again, we're limited on utility. Fallen with none. There's one single defuse kit as we enter the last few rounds now of the first half of Cash. Get right, feeling brave again.
Very brave. Same play that Forrest had. Quick smoke, fast flash. It was he who has the spawn who takes it. But it's Fallen and Cold that take the kills back. And in fact now, quite convincingly, they find themselves in a 4 versus 2, and Get Right being one of the players to go down, so they don't even have the mid control that they wanted. And Fallen is getting very aggressive.
4-on-2, complete change of pace there for NiP after the tactical timeout comes through. NiP throw a spanner in the works there, fast towards middle, and it looks like it's going to be completely wrecked as 4-on-1 now exists, gets dropped by Fallen, and it's just down to Forrest now. Trying to cause some damage, very unlikely he can win the round, but if he finds Fallen, oh, he's actually snuck behind him here. This could be interesting. If he gets this kill, we've got a round on our hands here. Forrest will go down to 29. Just wants to find kills here. That's the main objective.
Exactly. Find kills, limit the money because they have to buy again into round 14, but the bomb down makes things most interesting. That makes things most interesting as well. And blinds himself partially. Not graceful. Didn't get any further money down. Cold gets the round. That was expected in the end that they would win, SK. 8-5. We hit round 14, and again, though, reinvestment is the key.
Absolutely is. All comes out for Draken once again, but here's the opening picks from Fallen. A very quick round there. It was Get Right pushing his way out towards middle. Like I said, the tactical timeout, when you know a team call of those, they're going to be adjusting something, maybe trying a different idea. They rush towards middle, hoping it's the open, but Get Right gets the opening pick, but coldzera to take him down from the white box. Means it was quite the simple round after that point, when then being followed towards Fallen and his AWP. Number 14 now, Draken will be dropped off the boost position. Goes for a little wallbang there. It's ambitious, but I like it. Trying to find anything as the first kill comes in. Once again, Matt, it's Rez. How good has this guy been on Cash so far? This squeaky door is his. And he gets another headshot. It bolts to go down. And now they wait for the reaction to come from the CT side. It's a very reactive map in that sense. As soon as you lose a pick, you have to fight back. And that's what the CTs are trying to do now towards Rez. But he gets him through the door. Of course he does.
Even with being spotted, the nade out, and not being prepared for position, he finds the spray down. Lurpus, I think you have your answer. As it's Taco and Fallen left to compensate. In behind Forklift, good position to be in. That'll take the bomb from Exist. And the Molotov didn't quite land. Put in the corner, there's nowhere to hide away from it. So Rez has an easy angle and an easy predictive shot. It's Fallen with the AWP against 3. And again, money a massive factor. 6 rounds easily achieved for NiP at this point. Fallen does at least get Forrest. Don't rule him out. It is Fallen, but doesn't have a kit. That certainly hurts.
Yeah, he might want to consider saving the AWP into the next round. No money at all for the Brazilian side. He's going for it. He's got the AK-47 in hand right now, but with no kit, you're absolutely right. It's interesting he's even considering it. I want to encroach towards the A bomb side now. One player low HP. I don't see him getting anything done here. I don't think he has even enough time to defuse now.
No, he doesn't. Absolutely not. Not even sure what the plan of going in is. Get Right just easily has him with the op.
They had to save that AWP, in my opinion. The only chance they had to win this round coming up, looking very likely to be an 8-7 half as NiP get back into the game. Fast boost towards middle. It's Forrest to open things up. And Rez, oh, they're so good for that door. That was such a great round from him. Final buy comes through. SK with 3 CZs, a Desert Eagle, and coldzera just on a measly UNP here up against a 4 buy of the NiP side. Looking for that 7th round, but all it takes is 1 kill with the CZ. It's a snowball weapon. You upgrade to an AK, and the SK player is certainly capable of doing something a little bit crazy.
So Forrest this time, going up to clear mid, looks behind bags. That's the exact wrong time to do so because he gets peeked by Fallen, which I thought was being covered off. So surprisingly, no response from the second player who was top drop. I think it was, yeah, it still is Draken. They'll go back to mid once more though. This time they want vents. They'll get right underneath of them. Back all the way in. Rez starts off, trades back. It's Bolts again that keeps the lead in the favor of SK. This picks up bomb and heads back. It's Draken at least to find Bolts. That's A site covered off, but watch Fur. Hasn't done it at all in this game, but he is good at getting behind. We talked about it on Overpass. He's done it once more. CZ75 only to work with, but timing everything. The element of surprise certainly strengthens the weapon. He's not sure which way to go. In fact, he may have gone the wrong way because 2 players already inside of B. If he goes back toward mid, they're already looking for it, and A's wide open. He realizes it, and he's got to run, so won't work out in Fur's favor. No chance to catch one.
Oh, but coldzera certainly has. It's get right caught out of position. There's no trade potential there. This kill decides the round. Exist gets it. Still within a shout, though. It's a 2 versus 2. Exist or Molotov towards heaven. 20 seconds remaining. Does Taco push with the smoke? It looks like the answer's going to be no. He'll wait for his teammate. That's the correct decision. They've got 1 flashbang, a decoy, no kit, and no rifle.
Just go back to B after seeing Fur try and rotate away. Exist, sight, covered off, finds one immediately. Draken has to play this perfectly. Fur still has the CZ, and he got the trade, baits out the first shot. Crosses over, and he's got an AK as well. He's got head armor to work with. If Draken doesn't get the lineup, if he doesn't read this, it's going to be a problem. Fur realizes he's changed his angle, but Draken just has to keep him off the defuse, or better still, take him down, and that's exactly how it works.
Bit of panic coming in there from Draken. It was quite a tense round. Comes down to the 1 versus 1 foe of the AK-47. He knew he had potential to win it, but it wasn't meant to be. Very similar scenes to Overpass here. A huge lead by SK Gaming, and it's NiP to catch him right at the very end there. It will be 8-7 to finish the half. And we'll find out how this one concludes after the break.
Another close contested half, another 8-7 scoreline. SK, a slight advantage this time, having the 1 round to their name and their credit. They have to win Another pistol, T-side start. And NiP have pressure applied as well in the fact that it's not easily a foregone conclusion. Rez is back.
Yeah, he's going toe-to-toe with the very best in the world right now. coldzera and Rez both on 19 kills apiece. Nothing really separating these two teams. The pistol will be very indicative as to where this half is going. NiP, 4 sets of armor. Let's get rid of the smoke and defuse kit once again. And we've got 2 smokes for the SK side. It looks like a basic approach from them. Smoking towards highway, flashing through. They have got the Molotov for quad if they decide to use it then, or maybe they save it for the post-plant situation. Exists in Draken. They won't be playing retake either. They're looking to fight from the MBK position. That's going to be Draken.
Up the fence, Exist already forced off slightly at Fork. He's tagged down, Draken's waiting for flashes. Keeps looking into the wall, they haven't arrived. In fact, he's not going to get any. He gets vision, that gives him 1 kill. Get Right found the other on Defer. He eventually does get smoked off on the highway gap. Fallen swings in to get a great shot onto him. Down a man already, make that 2. As Bolts gets Forest, it's on to Rez. Youngblood's been hot, but a tough proposition in front of him to go 1 versus 3. Smokes covering the inside of the site, give him a chance he can fade inside. He can still isolate this down if he's fast enough to find Taco. Because Bolts is still working in from Chuck. That smoke has favored him massively. He thinks he's gotten away with it. He thinks he's covered. He is indeed. Bolts is nowhere near. Bolts doesn't read it. And NiP get it. Rez barely wins the round.
What amazing play. He's having the map of his career so far. On the big stage, we question if he can perform, and he just wins out of 3 versus 1 against the world's best. Bolts had no idea the full defuse would be coming in. It's such an intelligent play. Look at this, that first shot towards the forklift, then completely wrecks the player at quad. Full defuse comes in, and Bolts panics. He can't find the shot, the full defuse. The last few seconds go in favor of NiP, and what a way to kick things off. And it might not be stopping just yet. The force fight comes in from SK Gaming in the second round here. AKs are out, along with the Deagles. They're fully committed. They've given that up now as they go for the full boost in middle. Bomb down. And a chance to catch our breath. And we won't be going for any rushes here. Middle is completely open. CTs with 2 rifles, 3 SMGs win this. And they could be looking at the 2-0. This is looking great for NiP. What a round from Rez that was.
Incredible, incredible. As soon as that smoke went down, he hits the first shot that cleanly. They couldn't even get a formation to go for the trades. Hits 1, fades through, Bolts is isolated away from the battle. Man, oh man, what a way to win back a pistol. I thought this was going to be SK stretching out the lead. Fallen certainly doesn't think that it's done just because they've lost the pistol. Look at Get Right, coldzera with the AK buy. Bomb down, they try and catch off NiP. It's worked so far, but Draken's position has worked as well. NiP9's got a back off bomb there. He wants to hold, and somehow, great peek and hit Fallen from range. Fair enough. The bomb on the deck a little bit longer. They won't be able to hold that position where it is. Unfortunately, it's too far beyond the enemy lines. Draken does have to be careful because, unfortunately, yeah, he's done for. As Cold walks in behind Fur Founds Forest, it's Rez again that has to clutch.
2 versus 1 this time. Fur and coldzera to defend. The bomb actually in T-spawn, so Rez has got a good chance here. Objective, of course, get it to the 1v1 to start with. coldzera has to watch every single angle. In 15 seconds, I don't think they can even plan that. Even if they get the bomb here, it will be a chance. He could have run away. I think he had it. They didn't have even a shout of planting the bomb there. He just ran off.
I think you're absolutely right.
10 seconds when he died.
When he died, and they still had about 3 seconds to get to the bomb. There's no way they got to his site. Surprise. And there you go. Even our little in-game timer tells us.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't have made it.
11 seconds, and they didn't even have it yet. So that's, yeah, unfortunate. Could have easily been NiP holding on. Now SK, despite losing the pistol, they make up for it. And they only lost the pistol due to some rather incredible play from Rez and a bit of an unfortunate one from Bolts. So far, SK has definitely shown that they are ready to play on the T side of this half. This game, I should say. Fur already inside of middle, completely vacant. Aside from just Get Right. Let's choose to peek out before Fur is able to get in behind the hut.
Remember, NiP have looked disgusting with the Desert Eagles so far. Even without armor, they've been nailing the headshots, Forest especially. SK is certainly aware of that proposition, so they'll take things very slowly here. Check every angle, and Bolts with the first kill. That's nice. It's one of the key players of NiP going down first. That's Forest. Right, low HP at the same time. This should be quite the easy round now, unless Rez has anything to say about it. He's coming in with his Deagle. First shot is nailed. Looking for the second, can't connect. Refract comes through, and that should be the round at this point. Exists has a chance, but can't get anything together, and there it is, the 4-on-1. Draken can't do anything about this.
Can't at all. Low HP, you'd expect that One of those shots from the Deagle at Heaven would have hit, but Fallen will plant the bomb. Draken will sit with the Deagle in armor and allow the time to tick away. I say that, he'll get a little bit closer and try and take some guns down, maybe even find an AK-47 for himself. With Fur rotating back around, if he was careless, he could actually walk toward Draken in a fashion that would catch him off, but I imagine him holding station is probably the more ideal situation. In fact, that's quite clever. Knowing that Draken's likely looking for exits, the one way they're going to go, the only place they don't have information where Fur can't see, they just smoke it off.
Yeah, good stuff. And they've managed to negate the Deagles of the NiP side, which can be a little bit tricky. You see 3 players very low, so they took some damage there, but 4 players surviving. Good stuff from SK. They lost the pistol, won the second round forced by. It was Bolt that got bested by Rez in the 1v1 in the pistol. And here he is, getting the job done in the B-bomb site against the pistols here, no problem at all. Good shots to that Khalil. Assuming we'll have an NiP eco once again. Yeah, pistols are out USP for 3 players, Rez of the P2000 and Draken with body armor and a Deagle. Considering he's the AWP, that's an interesting approach, and it's Rez to go down first. This should be quite the clean sweep for the SK side.
Trying multiple peeks to take down 1 or 2, but unfortunately they're getting the same treatment in return with guns. Good shot from Draken at least, but unfortunately Taco's already behind him. 11 rounds now for SK. Man, imagine Rez just ran away. Be a much different storyline currently. So SK trying to steal back a map. Remember, they lost their own map choice to NiP Overpass. Though the score seemingly looked closer, it was actually a blowout when you consider that it was 7-1 SK and NiP basically reverse swept it. Early flames atop the drop to make sure no one can get up, cover the position.
Just to note, it's Rez on the secondary AWP right now, not Forest, so we'll see whether he can arrive. He's got 23 kills, 16 deaths. The next closest to him is Draken on 9. That's kind of insane.
Yeah, that's a one-man army. That's ridiculous. If anyone else wants to start playing an NiP, that would be appreciated by Rez, I'm sure. Because it might give them enough to push over the edge on SK. Round is important. Rez as well. Secondary up. Tagged and naded. Bolts read it.
Yeah, he could have fallen back, but decided to just get one more smoke down before making his way back towards the checkers, and he'll get naded. There's the leg shot that opened things up, and it's a 5-on-4 as SK Gaming look towards middle. This is for lining up the smoke towards connector. That will go through successfully. There's no mid presence at all from NiP. Draken still on the AWP, and we'll send 2 players towards middle for the T side. Potential B split here with 1 player in Sunroom.
Good bounce.
Yeah.
Damn, that was very smart. Catches out Bolts entirely. Certainly suggests he knows that he's there, but Forrest is still waiting behind the box. Tries to go for the early peek, can't do it. Doesn't like to try and wall through because it's not that applicable, but Get Right certainly steps up! Get Right steps up! Oh god, Get Right, get all 4! Fallen finds the response and puts him on the floor, but it's still not done because the bomb not planted. Fallen, he'll go for the open side plant to play with the AWP, but they've already taken position back through the vent. What an incredible individual heroic moment for Get Right, as it looked like they'd lost all hope at the B site. And Fallen manages at least to burrow back and hold the op at an angle that isolates Exist first. As soon as he peeks, Fallen should be ready. They'll tap the bomb. That forces Fallen back in, but a smoke off, he can't push through. They can try to hold the defuse. If Exist can play the inside angle, that's exactly what he's going to do. Now he's got coverage for his teammate, but it's 10 seconds, and Fallen, edge of the smoke, somehow hits it. Draken responds, but there's no time.
So smart from Fallen there. Gives himself an open plant. He's in a difficult situation, 2 versus 1. Drops the Molotov towards Heaven. The smoke is already down at CT spawn. As soon as he gets in that position at the main entrance, you think he's got a serious chance here. The CT start panicking. The smoke deployed. They can't decide if they're going for a full defuse or not. Didn't seem like they had confidence in each other to actually find the frag. That defuse had to happen a lot sooner. Apply the pressure to Fallen, but they were just being overwhelmed by the in-game leader and legend that is Fallen. And that will be quite a harsh round for NiP in terms of the financial situation. Get Right as well, Matt. After finding that sort of play, to be denied the round victory has got to be gutting for him.
Absolutely gutting, but...
Are we buying this round?
I was going to say, this is...
I know, so Draken saved the AWP from the previous, so his teammates will just work out what the players around that.
The timeout call suggested that they might have gone for a little bit more aggressive stance, but they'll sit back and wait. Concede the fact that they don't have much to work with and allow Draken to try and get early picks. We just finished saying if someone else would like to start playing Get Right, man, oh man, that was... I didn't even think they had a footing in the round after losing Forest, especially behind the box.
Well, here we go. Round number 21. It's just down to the orb of Draken to try and make something happen here. And good night, Get Right! It will be fair to blow his head off with a single bullet of his AK-47, and he'll push all the way towards CT spawn. The orb of Draken won't be able to do much here as he holds all the way towards the B bomb site. He'll get one as first, going very aggressive, of course, but that's a good call. Nice fast play towards the A bomb site. Nice shot as well from third. There's one bullet, and Bolt's still hunting for players here. Let's try and hold on to the orb now for the NiP side, see if that's a possibility. Draken still in the open, looking for anyone pushing forward.
coldzera pushed all the way up. On map control gained. The hold. Taco, meanwhile, behind enemy lines, gets caught out. Bomb, though, continues to tick. Thankfully, no kits, because they've left it rather open. Left the site rather early, but there's no chance NiP will be able to do anything with it. Keep that AWP alive. More importantly, Rez now picks up an AK as Exist goes down. That's fine. They'll carry both of those over. That strengthens NiP's economy, but they need to start rolling on this second half now.
Yeah, absolutely do. They've only got one round so far, which is the pistol. They're 5-1 down, 13-8 overall.
Which is a pistol. I'm going to say they should not have won.
Absolutely.
In all fairness.
Yeah,
I mean,
3-on-1.
they pulled that off, but that shouldn't have happened.
Well, SK Gaming don't play cash that often, especially with this new lineup. Let's see whether they can finish this one off. Good shot from Fallen. It's Draken trying to get aggressive at the very start. They'll be punished for that, but the boost comes through. We have got Rez at the very top. He'll actually make that work as well. That's quite rare to see a kill come from that boost in the back of B, so...
Rare, especially when it's already been an exchange, a trade to have 3 players in the site to do it, and importantly, they had to smoke down, so they couldn't actually, as we saw last half, capitalize by rushing in and catching them out. Taco does still find Forest, however. So not out of the woods. With Forest going down, as Rez will hold off toward checkers. Cold's inside of the vents. Rez has to be very careful, doesn't even consider it. And that might be enough to take the round away. If NiP concede the bomb fast enough, they may have to consider saving. Trying to Exist to get fur on the lurk, but Cold getting Get Right, and I imagine that's all she wrote.
I think you might be absolutely right. Exist very far removed from the situation. He'll be all the way towards A. It's the opening pick from Fallen. The boost from NiP looks successful, but obviously gives away their position. They've completely capitalized towards that B bomb site. coldzera finding 2 frags, and the money just swelling out of control at this point. Draken still with $8,000. They're not out of this just yet, but it's looking likely we'll be heading towards Inferno, which always is a great place to finish off these sort of best of threes. It's a very equal playing ground. Everyone plays it, and both teams very well versed on that map as well, so that should be fantastic if we get there. NiP with a full buy here, not too bad. The orb's out, 4 and 4s as well. Still have a chance to pull this one back.
Pop out for Fallen again to see if anyone will push through toward A main. No one electing to go beyond the smoke, but they are inside of the garage door. Fallen makes sure he finds not only that player, but also Rez, who pushes in. Forrest will sit back. Off angle finds Taco, at least something to work with. Cold will immediately find him in response. I was going to say, and they don't have the bomb in any position toward the A site, but that's now open, and even though they want to head toward B with Bolts and Cold pushing through, Draken really doesn't have anywhere to hide. This will be gunned down. This will be map point, so SK are going to do exactly what NiP did to them. In fact, sweeping out a second half and taking potentially their wrap away convincingly as well. 15-8, 1 round to go.
15-8 indeed. The money very poor for NiP at that point. Fallen doing what he does best with the AWP, and it seems like the CTs have experimented with aggression here, but every single time it's SK that are coming on top in terms of the 1v1 duels. That was the storyline for NiP in the first map there. Individual prowess was just off the scale, the skill level was really there. But only one player really has turned up in this second map, and that's Rez. 24 kills. Exist and Forest. Forest especially, 7 kills, 22 deaths for him. That's just not a performance that's going to yield a successful map here, because he was lights out in the first one, and he's completely dropped off on cash here. 15-8, and a mixture of weaponry, 2 UMPs and a FAMAS for Exist. They've got the kits, but almost nothing in terms of the smoke grenades now.
Slower pace. Assistant Rez pushed up, but not going much beyond. They won't get any further information. They're just going to wait for it to walk into their position. already being somewhat curious as to what's going on behind the forklift as Taco waits at the door as well. So Fur can funnel Draken back. Taco will be able to open a 1-2 punch toward the A site. Taco's even already spraying through to catch the angle, but holding the wall. Draken's gotten one. He knows the door was going to open. Tries to spray transfer over, at least self-preservation, if you will, as he sprays and ducks behind the forklift, and he gets away, or does he? No, he does not. Taco, great shot after throwing the nade. That'll allow them to walk into the site. Get Right's showing his hand a little bit early, but the flash out wants to capitalize. Finds one, but Taco actually burns Fallen, so it wasn't even Get Right's kill, but it'll count. As they find themselves in a 2 versus 3, Get Right gone down early. It means Cold was able to hold the wall, and therefore they close it out 16-9. Not even that, 16-8. As SK dominate map 2.
Yeah, it's NiP that couldn't get going there at all in the second half. Only the pistol was picked up for them, and apart from that, it was a very passive game. Seemed to have lost their mojo, and only Rez was performing that. What a performance it was, sure, but his teammates didn't join him. Forest 7 for 23.